Hey man, I heard that psychedelics are really good for depression, but I'm scared of having a bad trip, man. Can you advise me, doc?
Hmm. To be honest, my medical school curriculum purely focused on how psychedelics are classified as illicit substances, how they can lead to acute psychotic breaks and eventually full blown admission to a mental health facility. Our training completely focuses on all the negatives and risks associated with them. But I am an authority figure. I can't be honest with the patient. He won't trust me if I say I don't know. I wonder if Big Pharma sponsoring university education and curriculum has anything to do with it. It's not like Big Pharma owns all medications and brands and directly contributes billions of dollars to medical schools worldwide. It is not like education is highly biased and focused on prescribing as many pills as possible to ensure people are lifetime customers. It's not like the very scripts we write for patients have brand logos on them to constantly remind us who is in charge. Nah, Big Pharma would never have any ulterior motive at all. Zero. Null. I trust them completely.
I don't see any benefits to you taking psychedelics, and these are extremely harmful, dangerous, and addictive substances. Would you like a lifetime subscription to this antidepressant instead? A psilocybin endowed hello guys, it's Cosmic Buddha here, and today I'm going to be telling you how to survive a bad trip. As someone who's had numerous heroes doses and even higher, because I'm batshit crazy, and who has yet to end up in a psych hospital, at least for now, I've had a few bad trips, and to be completely honest with you guys, it completely sucks. It is a 0 out of 10 experience, and quite possibly one of the worst experiences you can have. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to increase the chances of you surviving a bad trip in the event that you have one. The focus of this video is harm reduction. Now, the system I developed is based on personal experience, but also a profoundly terrifying experience. I once did a trip with a friend which went really bad, like proper bad. She had a complete psychotic break and her entire frame of reality was destroyed. And she was caught in incessant thought loops and experienced complete disassociations. At other times expressed emotional outbursts, crying and panic attacks that were vivid and dangerous. Insane mood shifts and constant paranoia of death. In short, she broke. She properly broke. For a solid 6 hours, we had to pacify her and ensure that she would not be a danger to herself or anyone else. Considering that I was on a hero's dose myself at the time, you can imagine what kind of an experience it is trying to medically pacify someone who's going through a traumatic trip while you yourself are tripping balls. It was not fun. Eventually the mushrooms wore off, however, she had lasting effects for a few weeks after and even had to be put on an antipsychotic afterwards. So needless to say, this experience completely shifted my view back then, and this was a while ago, on just how dangerous having a bad trip can actually be. So it is thanks to her that future me would eventually have a system to deal with something like that happened in the past. So you may wonder, Cosmic Buddha, you constantly speak about how psychedelics healed you, fixed your depression, and changed your life. Why would you talk about the negative side effects of them? Nobody likes to hear bad news. Just like how magic mushrooms can heal you and help you find the divine and find purpose and meaning in your life and do all of the rainbow stuff, which is great and all, they can do these things. I want you guys to be fully aware of the inherent risk of the psychedelic experience. It is not an understatement to say that every time you engage in a psychedelic trip, there is a small risk that you might have a bad trip. It just is what it is, guys. There's always that chance. There's no way to completely ameliorate that risk. Even myself, I do a bunch of practices which I'll elaborate on in later videos on how to reduce the risk of having said bad trip. But I go in fully aware of the fact that there is the chance I might just go and lose my mind and then go to cray cray land. it is what it is. I'm not going to fight that risk. It is a risk that I'm willing to take, and I'm not saying that you should be willing to take. I'm just telling you my experience of it and some advice from someone who's been on the other side, who's had their brain actually dissolve and melt and be all disassociated. Not as bad as my friend, but pretty bad. So do with this information as you will. To deny that side of psychedelics is absolutely retarded. And maybe you shouldn't use the word retarded, because it's 2025 and people are always looking for reasons to be triggered. I'm going to repeat this. You need to make peace with the fact that there is a chance in this experience that you may end up breaking and that you might need clinical help to recover back to where you were before. Keep that in mind. Every one of us is different and unique, so the way our bodies react to these substances, as powerful as they are, is going to be completely unique towards you. We have general guidelines and a general understanding of how they work to some extent, but the individual experience is very strong in the psychedelic space. Everyone's experience is going to be their experience. On that note, if you guys have any tips on how to survive the psychedelic experience if it goes bad, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Now that I've made a pretty clear warning a few times of the risks involved in taking these substances, let's say you don't care. You want to take these magic mushrooms, you want results now, blah blah blah, free will, you have a choice, blah blah blah, and boom, you're gonna take them regardless of what I say or don't say. Great, you've made a decision, you're an adult, you're allowed to do these things. We all are. No stranger from the internet is going to scare you away. Fair. Let's talk about my system on how to survive a bad trip. If this system can save just one person from having a bad psychedelic trip experience and ending up in a hospital, my goal will be accomplished. So I really hope it helps you guys, both in the past and the future. It probably can't help you in the past though. It is a shame. The system is called MARGA. M stands for Magic Mushroom, Responsibility and Choice. Remember, you chose this. You chose to take the magic mushrooms. Acknowledge that you've taken the substance willingly. Your actions have led you here, and now you're experiencing the effects. Accepting this choice can help you regain a sense of agency. A stands for acceptance. Let go of resistance. Stop fighting the trip. It's okay to feel uncomfortable or even scared. This is a temporary experience and it will pass. Embrace the mindset that even the bad moments are part of the journey. They can't break you unless you let them. R is for reality testing. Question your fears. You need to ask yourself some important questions to help your mind reconstruct your identity. Ask yourself, why is my mind feeling this way? Is there a reason I feel scared or confused? Why does it feel like I'm dying? Why am I confused now? Is it okay to feel this way? Spoiler, yes it is. Remind yourself that what you are experiencing is not permanent. It is your perception and not your reality that is breaking. G, grounding. Anchor yourself. Use a grounding tool like an object, incense, or simple mantra. For me, incense helps tie my senses to the present moment. It's the smell and the sight, two different and powerful sensory modalities for maximum effect. Before my trips, I always have some light incense. I have it on and it fills the room with a smoky smell. Every time I smell the incense and see the smoky air, I recall that I am in Magic Mushroom Land. Having this incense around serves as a constant visual and... what is it fucking called? Olfactory. It serves as a constant olfactory modality to remind you that you've taken the substance. It works for me. Maybe it'll work for you. You'll have to find out. I also have specific music that I only listen to in Magic Mushroom Land. It is reserved purely for trips. For you, it could be a specific song, a comforting object, or even a note saying, "You're okay." Now, obviously, you're going to have to write this note before the trip for obvious reasons. A stands for action. Redirect your energy. Take small, intentional actions to shift your focus. Sip some water. Call a trusted friend. Have a snack. I've found that salty snacks, like jerky, if you're American, is amazing in the psychedelic space. And chocolate can also be pretty good. All kinds of chocolates and salty snacks that aren't too filling Help ground me. Stretch. Literally wake up and stretch your body. Feel motion around you and in the space that you're in. Be aware that you are alive and present on a psychedelic trip. Change your environment. Move to a different room or go outside. Play calming music or focus on an object in your vicinity. Action gives your mind something to focus on and helps prevent you from spiraling deeper. So there you have it. MARGA. Write it down and memorize it when you are sober. Have an outline of the system memorized inside here so that you can access it when you need it most. I wish I had this back when I had my first bad trip. I wish I had a way of approaching it. I wish I had thought through these things, but I guess I wouldn't have been able to make this if I didn't have this knowledge from having to go through the bad experience. It sucks, but it is what it is. When you feel yourself breaking, in your darkest moments of despair, when all feels lost, and the terror of death impales you, remember this system, MARGA. Let it be the light that guides you back to sanity. And to my friend who had her mind break, if you are watching this video now, thank you. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do more at the time, but your experience may help numerous people in the future. Guys, if you want to chat with me about whatever, you can check my Twitter, link down below. Send me a message there. If you want to share your personal psychedelic experience with the world, or maybe your personal journey, or even content ideas, maybe you have topics you'd like me to cover in the future, email is down in the link below. Send me an email. The next video is gonna be epic. It's the hero's dose. Guys, you know the YouTube shit. Like, subscribe, and comment if this video has provided some value to you. Psilocybin out.